Is having the IPL just before a T20 World Cup campaign a blessing or a curse for South African players? Now, we know that the IPL will commence once again, and it will be held from the 19th of September 2021 until the 15th of October. The T20 World Cup is scheduled for 17th of October 2021. So 2 days after the final of the IPL, there will be a World Cup that will begin. So we're going to be discussing whether this is a blessing or curse, because there's a lot of factors to think about, and whether certain teams should request, which I doubt will ever happen, the withdrawal of certain players for obvious reasons ahead of a World Cup. If you guys are new to this channel, click subscribe to the channel, click that big red buttons, click subscribe, click that notification bell for all future videos, but also smash that like button and share this with all your friends and family, and get involved in the comment section. I'll be bringing on Aditya and we're going to be discussing this topic. So let's get straight. Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host Khalid. This is my co-host Aditya, and this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. Now, this is something that we wanted to speak about because I think that having a World Cup campaign so close to the IPL can be quite a scare for some South African players, particularly the likes of our bowlers like KG and Anrich and all of those guys. So we know that there will also be, like the people have said in the comment section over here, it's important to note that it will be first be the qualifiers before the main part of the World Cup starts. So at least no main players from the IPL will be playing 2 days after the IPL, and I know that, and I just wanted to discuss this because even though that the traveling will still take place, all of those things will still take place, going from bubble to bubble again, those are concerns. So maybe they won't be playing, but they will be switching from one tournament to the next once again, going into another bio bubble. I guess it is enough time for them to rest between the two when we look at it. But my concern still is picking up major injuries. Now, guys like KG Rabada and Anrich Nokia, particularly, and Lungin Gidi, who will be playing massive times or massive part in the tournament. That's something that concerns me, because particularly for the bowlers who are bowling a lot of overs. Now, yes, in T20 cricket you only bowl 4 overs at a time, but that is a concern for me. What also concerns me is the fact that we have a Sri Lanka series. Now, I'm not 100% sure when the Sri Lanka series will be exactly. The confirmation of that, we're still waiting for the itinerary of that. But that will also concern me as well, because whether South Africans will be going to obviously have to go to the IPL and not playing in the Sri Lanka series. So what happens in that particular case? So there's a lot for us to speak about, that teacher. Do you have any concerns about this? Because I think for guys like Quinton de Kock, maybe the IPL is the perfect thing for him. I think coming before World Cup, playing in IPL, playing freely with no pressure, it keeps him in good nick for a massive tournament. I think for David Miller, it's we're not 100% sure. It depends how much game time he actually gets this time around.
Look, as the topic of this show is it a blessing or a curse? I think it can be both. From the perspective of a blessing, players, South Africa's main players in their first 11 will have the opportunity to find form, get into some sort of momentum, and get an understanding of the conditions that they're going to be playing the World Cup in. So from that sense, it's great. And perhaps the benefit of playing in the UAE is that you're not flying from one destination to the other. It's mainly a coach ride, and it's generally an hour's drive or at most it's an hour and a half or something like that. And given that, it's easier on the players in that sense. That's certainly the feedback that the tournament got from the players when it was played in the UAE last year. So that's an advantage. Injuries are a concern, absolutely. But then we also have to take into consideration that if they're playing cricket before the tournament, whether it's the IPL or a bilateral series, they can be injured. So you could have a major player getting injured during the Sri Lanka series also. What then? So I think from an injuries point of view, it presents the same challenges. But I think generally having main players play high pressure games in the IPL can be beneficial to the team.
You see, yeah, and I get and I understand what you're saying there, Aditya, with about that and playing in an international game, etc. But I feel almost like in IPL they're almost obligated to play, whereas in international cricket, preparing for a series, they can choose to rest them or not rest them. Whereas the option is not available for South Africa to make those decisions. So they're going to, and they play a lot of games as well. So a lot more games, I feel, in an IPL. But I mean, considering the amount of fixtures that will be playing, it's only the last end of the competition. So it won't be as many games as a full IPL tournament as well. But my concern is still the same. You play a couple of games off each other. I'm particularly worried about KG. If he's coming off, if the Sri Lanka series is before the IPL, he's coming off a Sri Lanka series, straight into the IPL, straight into the World Cup. And I'm just a bit worried about KG particularly because we need KG. I think Nokia as well. I mean, he pulled up before the 2019 World Cup, and I was very upset about that because I thought that would have been his breakthrough tournament. And unfortunately, and he was bowling at in alarming pace, and alarming speeds at that particular time. So those are the things that I'm a little bit worried about. But I think, like I said, for our batsmen, I think it can be a blessing because our batters, especially our star batsmen, need to just get some freedom going, get their confidence up. Coming out of a tournament, Quinton de Kock's always come out of an IPL tournament in amazing form. Majority of the time, I feel when he's left there, he looks a lot freer. I would say, like a lot less stressed out. I mean, it was a little bit different the last time. I mean, obviously the IPL was cut short, so it was a lot different then, and it was bubbles to bubbles and all of those type of things that concerned him. But yeah, I mean, Quinton now going to the 100, and then from there probably the Sri Lanka series, and then from there, obviously, we don't know how much domestic cricket our players will play when the domestic cricket season starts either. So I'm very interested to see how much cricket that we will be playing before the T20 World Cup. I'm just a little bit concerned because yesterday we were talking about having a rest and rotation system. But this is something that we can't have control over. These are games that they have to take part in because they have contracted to do so. So yeah, I do have a little bit of concerns, but I think everything will work out fine. I'm hoping that as well. Aren't you concerned though, Aditya, about the Indian players who have to play this no matter what?
Not entirely, because we had a large pool of players, half of which are in England and half of which are in the UAE. I'm sorry, in Sri Lanka, and I feel like there's been, before this England series, there's been a significant amount of rest that the team has had. And they seem to be doing okay as of now. There aren't any injury concerns, but I think what's encouraging is that there's half a season of the IPL left. It's not an entire season of the
Yeah.
IPL before the World Cup. So I think each team, as Harshit said here, it's about 6 or 7 games for each team. So that to me is, I think that's ideal preparation for the World Cup for virtually every single individual who's participating in the IPL and will then go on to play the World Cup. So I think that's good preparation, and I don't think there's cause for concern there unless they're carrying an injury into the IPL. So no, I can't say that I'm injured. I think as of now I'm probably a bit more worried about COVID because Krunal Pandya,
Mm.
Hardik Pandya's brother, just tested positive for COVID,
Oh
and
no.
um, yeah, and I guess the authorities are investigating how the virus essentially entered the biobubble. So I
Yeah.
think that's more of
Look
a
at what.
concern.
And this is also, I can already see ABD playing a fantastic knocks in the IPL right before the World Cup, all while we know that he won't be available. That is really, really funny from his part. Ashit replying, saying, AB will say in the press conference that he would like to play for South Africa. Oh,
Yeah.
there's going to be
But
drama
then I don't want to
before
take
this World
anyone
Cup.
else's place.
Yeah. But we know there's going to be drama ahead of this World Cup. There are too many players that are up in the air. Faf du Plessis, David de Villiers, Imran Tahir, Chris Morris. There are too many players that are like in that zone where we're not sure whether they want to play or whether they're going to be allowed to play or not. So yeah, that's a little bit of a concern. But yeah, anything else you want to say, Aditya? I think we can wrap up this video.
Yeah, I think you talk about Faf du Plessis. He was rested for the first three games he was supposed to play in the 100 because of his concussion, and so he's still taking his time to recuperate, and I think at some time when he does get back into form, and assuming he is playing for South Africa the World Cup, I think the IPL will be perfect preparation for him. I think it will be even better than playing in the Sri Lanka series actually, because the IPL is going to be high pressure, and he's playing for Chennai, who are table toppers as of now.
Yeah.
So
So guys, yeah, interesting points over here. So guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please subscribe to the channel. Please click on the notification bell for all future videos. Let us know in the comment section what you think. Are you a little bit concerned about some of South Africa's players playing in the IPL directly before a World Cup? What do you think, like the guys said, like Arshid said and Werner said, there is enough rest days for the guys to recover after a World Cup, after an IPL campaign? I would like to hear what you have to say in the comment section, and don't forget to smash that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Cricket Fanatics magazine. It's a monthly magazine, a digital magazine, 100% free. Click on the link in the screen and in the description if you want to get all back issues as well, 100% free. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you guys again with an excellent episode of The Daily Show tomorrow. We have a special guest that's coming on with us, so we're really excited to have a chat with him. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow once again. Take care.